Ryan asked, "Watch or pipe guy? Do you collect pipes? I didn't.
I don't really collect pipes. I have pipes, and I probably have, I don't know, 15 or 20, but I tend to smoke the same 4 or 5 over and over. And in fact, Shane Ireland from smokingpipes.com, he keeps telling me I need to send him the pipes I'm not using because I personally don't get the whole estate pipe thing. It kind of grosses me out. But it's wildly popular. And look, they clean them. They have a professional shop. They have an on-site pipe shop that reams them, cleans them, sanitizes them. But there's a whole group of consumers out there in the pipe segment that are okay. They call it, they even give it a fancy word. I call it a used pipe. They call it an estate pipe, right? And so, I mean, and I know that if you have old pipes, and the funny part about it too is they don't only just want expensive ones. They'll even take they won't take crap, but they'll take even like used Petersons, used Savinelli's pipes that were $100, $125. Now they're going to give you what, $30 for it, maybe $25 in store credit. But I guess, there's a certain, it's like everything. This model's been discontinued. There's always some guy that's looking for this. There's always a guy that's like, hey, I'm okay with an estate pipe. If I save $50 buying it, then fine. And then you have the other end, like I have some really big size 6 Dunhills. That's like a really mega, and I never smoked them. So those are expensive. I probably should send them to him. But yeah, for me, I have like 4 or 5, maybe 6 pipes that like literally are like 98%. And I rarely buy a new one.
Well, that's if you're using the same ones, I get that. That is a great term though. I like that. From now on, I'm never selling anything used. It's all going to be estate.
Yeah.
I got some estate shirts if anyone wants to buy them. They might have a little patina on them.
My estate car. Would you like my estate car?
Much fancier. I love that, actually. That's a great idea. I've honestly not heard that term. I'm not a pipe guy. It's very rare. I've had a couple of buddies who have tried to teach me about, they're blending their own mixes of tobacco, which is awesome. I think it's really cool. But I just prefer, it's so much simpler for me.
I was a pipe guy before. I was a cigar guy and a pipe guy simultaneously. But when I was younger, I smoked way more pipe because I could afford to smoke the pipe. Because you can smoke high quality tobacco in a pipe for, even today, 2 ounces of high quality stuff costs you somewhere between $14 and $20, right? And you can smoke, for that, you can smoke 15 to 18 times 2 ounces in kind of a standard kind of 3 gram style bowl. So for let's just figure $18 on average, you're getting to smoke for like 40 to 60 minutes for about $1, right? So it's way more economical than cigars. The problem with it is you got to use a pipe. It's a lot of it's fussy, right? It's a lot of figuring out pipes. The bowl makes a difference, the shape of the bowl, how you pack the bowl, the type of tobaccos, how dry the tobaccos are. And it isn't like with cigars where we can all say, hey, I finally find my humidor at 67%, works really, really well for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I find that if I cut my cigars, it works really, really well for me. With pipes, it's really variable. It depends on what tobacco you're smoking, how that tobacco is cut, what the moisture content is of the tobacco, how you pack that individual tobacco into the pipe, and then just the act of when you're smoking it, trying to gauge if you're smoking too fast, too slow, how much to tamp. It takes a lot of finesse. Now, once you get it down, it becomes almost second nature, and then you can, it's very rare, like with tobaccos that I smoke on the regular, I can literally light them once, and I might have to touch it up and light it a second time during the entire bowl. I don't have to constantly light the thing, but it takes a long time to get the feel for it. And it makes pipe smoking really difficult, particularly for new consumers. New consumers, it's really, really hard. The thing is with most new consumers, in order to keep it lit, they're drawing on it way too fast, and it ends up burning way too hot. And then they totally mess up their mouth. They burn themselves. They get what they call tongue bite, but it's really essentially you burning yourself. And so it takes a lot of practice to get good at it. But like when I was enlisted in the Navy and I was broke dick, that's I could afford to smoke good tobacco on a pipe. I couldn't afford to smoke good tobacco on a cigar.
That's very fair. And you know what? I do like the idea of learning your passion though too. If you really enjoy pipe tobacco, it's okay to put that time in to understand what you're doing properly. And like you said,
The other thing with pipes is you get a lot more variety. I mean, there's a much wider spectrum of tobaccos, and for most non-pipe smokers, the only type they know is that really super aromatic, smells like, Lane 1Q. It's almost always kind of sweet. It's that whole Captain Black kind of genre. But the reality is, there's a ton of like really diverse tobaccos that you can smoke in a pipe that for the non-pipe smoker, they wouldn't think they taste like pipe. Okay. But, most hardcore guys, they don't, you get that smoker that sticks with just aromatics, but most end up moving beyond that. And they start to smoke a lot of different types of pipe tobacco that the average non-pipe consumer wouldn't even think of as pipe tobacco.
That's very fair. I that's definitely in my mind too. I have a certain, I would like to explore, and I'm going to explore more. It's going to be a series of watching Miguel fail at smoking pipes at first, but it will get better. I promise you, people.
Yeah, it's just a matter of practice, really. And the thing is, and what I always tell consumers too, when you're starting to smoke pipes, is it's actually easy to stick clear of the aromatics. The aromatics tend to be really soupy. They tend to be really moist. They tend to be really sticky. They're almost the hardest to really figure out how to smoke. You're actually better with like a mild English blend. I know Latakia smells really strong to the nose, but it's actually one of the mildest tobaccos. And a good Latakia is a really clean burning tobacco. So you can go, like something like a Dunhill early morning pipe is a classic, pipe tobacco. It's actually easier. And then if you like the aromatic, you don't have to take your favorite aromatic and just, in a bowl, mix of some of it in there with it. You know what I mean? Because you can get that aromatic sensation with a base of a simple, milder English style blend without having to try to smoke through all the aromatic. It also depends on the aromatic. Most inexpensive aromatics, they actually douse the tobacco with propylene glycol to try to keep the moisture in it because it's packed in those stupid pouches that you have at the drugstore, right? The Captain Blacks and the half and half and the cherry this and the cherry that and all that. So it's super extra syrupy, and you're better to smoke a higher grade aromatic that doesn't have all that extra additives in it, But the super soupy ones, they're the ones that give you the real punch of cherry. They're the ones that give you the real punch of chocolate. That's, you're going to get much more of that flavor and aroma out of those, but they're actually much, much more difficult to smoke. And again, goes back to that's where almost all consumers start because it's there on the shelf, it's readily available, it's inexpensive, and oddly, I think most people that start with pipes, they really have a very bad first initial experiences, and it kind of turns them off, which I guess is good for me because I'm in the cigar business and not in the pipe business. So it's better that cigars are more convenient.